Hello YouTube, got a series of unboxings for you in this video. First we're going to start out with an SMSL A50. Now this is not, the original A50. This is a new version of that amplifier. And this just instruction manual here. Yeah, cool. Never use those. Alright, so it's already kind of coming up at me here. So this video is going to actually be a series of amplifier unboxings, starting here at the SMSL. So here's a rather large power supply. I mean, it's not the biggest one I've ever seen, certainly, but it's a good size. Let's see. So I've heard this is a really good amplifier. Rest of the power supply cord. Got your IEC connector. Nothing too fancified. You do get a remote. This is that new style remote they are using with the volume down here. It's a little bit more bulbousy than their other remote. I'm sure it works just fine. Standard AAA batteries. Wonder if there's any in here. I am not sure about that. Put that to the side. Oh, well, yeah, of course we got the Bluetooth antenna. Fairly standard here. That one should flex. No, it doesn't. So there's no flex. It's just going to be up. Kind of silly. Okay, nothing else. Here is the amplifier itself. Let me see if I can pull it out. Yep. Very small. Very basic. Supposed to be high quality. So you basically have your RCA analog input, Bluetooth antenna, speaker binding post, and a power socket there. But this is supposed to be a very good amplifier at its $60, $70 price. I believe I got this on sale for like 60 bucks. So if it's at least halfway decent, it might be a good alternative for someone's looking to put together a cheap desktop with the remote. So you could actually use it as a soundbar replacement, but then you're going to need, some sort of DAC from your TV because this only has the analog input, no digital on this one. So basic SMSL amplifier there. Typical metal chassis, nothing too outrageous, but high quality, does have a screen. I think that's kind of cool. Definitely an evolution of that original SA50 that I used to own and use for many years. This seems like an upgraded version of that. But we'll see how it works. I'm going to spend some time testing it and get back to you maybe with a review. Okay, so the next amplifier we have here to unbox is the new Fosi Audio V3. This one I actually got off of Parts Express because at the time it was the only way to get the, I believe it's 48 or 6 volts power supply, and here it is right here. And this is a beast. This is like almost 2 times the size of the other one. Actually, here it is right here, and you can see it's not 2 times. I was exaggerating a little bit, but this is how it compares to the SMSL power supply. So hopefully this one that comes with Fosi will produce better amplification. Doesn't mean it's going to be better quality sound, but maybe more power. All right, so set that aside. Here's the rest of the power cable. I think that's all we really have. This is a very, very, very basic amplifier. No, here's instructions. I hate these kind of fold-out kinds. Anybody else with me on that? But who needs instruction manuals with a basic amplifier? So here it is. First thing I notice is it's very heavy. It feels definitely more substantial than the SMSL I just unboxed. It's a little bit bigger. Feels higher build quality. Again, a very basic back on this one. You've got your RCA connections here. No Bluetooth on this guy. You actually have an analog output, which is handy because you could use this to connect a subwoofer and then use a powered subwoofer with this amplifier and then connect your speakers here in these terminals. Now there is no crossover high pass filter, anything like that in this amplifier. It's just a basic analog input and output with your speaker binding post there and then your power socket. On the front, you have one knob, which I kind of like the very clean look of this. You hear that, turns it on, there's your volume. I've heard it's not the most linear volume pot. Fairly typical with these basic Class D amplifiers. What's nice about this one is it does have Nice ventilation there on the top and the bottom for cooling, so it should keep it cooler, as it probably could run hot, especially when you're using it with a larger power supply. Should be enough though to keep things cool. I saw a video of a guy doing tests on it, and it seemed like it ran quite cool even when pushed. So that is the Fosi Audio V3, supposed to be a powerhouse of an amplifier. I am anxious to test this one out too and see what we get from it. Stay tuned for another video with more information and maybe even a review. And this will be the last amplifier we will unbox in this video. So here we have the RSL, or Rogers Sound Labs, iA255.1, and just have a USB-C to regular USB here. Nothing too exciting. I don't know why that wasn't in a package, but whatever. Okie dokie. Huh, this is not in any kind of package either. Looks like the amplifier is, so you have 3.5 millimeter to this. I think this is to connect something that is special about this amplifier. I'll show you in just a minute. You probably already know what it is. You're a smart people, aren't you? Part of the power adapter there, so yeah, got that. Here is the power adapter, the power brick. Fairly beefy, but not giant. I think that the V3 from Fosi Audio had the biggest power source. Anything else? Oh, yep, we got a Bluetooth antenna. This does have Bluetooth. All right, and then we have the amplifier itself. Here it be. Decent bag here. Yeah, it's a little guy. I think it's about the same size as the SMSL. Not 100% on that. Don't have it right here with me. Nice aluminum buttons. You have tone controls here with a detent, which I would assume that is direct. Then you go less or more for each of them, which is nice. Power and your input. Just have Bluetooth and analog on this one. Only digital input on this is Bluetooth. As you see on the back here, there are no digital inputs, but what we do have is this secret right here, and that is a high-pass filter for the speaker output. You see it there. It says it's going to be setting a 90 hertz crossover for that. I assume that that will set a low-pass filter to the sub. I'll have to read up on that to find out. But this is a sub output, which looks to be a 3.5 millimeter stereo output, and that is why this cable was included, because not very many subwoofers have a 3.5 millimeter input, but you just have this cable, or you can get a longer one, whatever. You can also get, I think, a 3.5 to mono. They're harder to find if your sub only has one input, but most of mine have two, so you would use this cable there, and you're going to get a high-pass filter. So I think that's a really cool feature to have on a small Class D, desktop amplifier like this. It's not going to be the most powerful thing in the world, not the most feature-rich. As you can see in the box here, there's no remote, so nothing like that, no digital, anything. But to have a built-in crossover, right now I'm running a mini DSP on my desktop, and that does the crossover for me because none of my DACs or amplifiers have them. And so this would eliminate the need for that. We'll see how good an amplifier it is. I'm sure for a desktop it'll be just fine. But yeah, this is the RSL iA255.1. So I thank you so much for watching this video. I may post a review, or at least a comparison video, of all three of these amplifiers. We will see if that happens. If so, stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching my channel. If you want to support me, be sure to check out Patreon and buy me a cup of coffee. Links are down in the description below. Now remember, frugal doesn't necessarily mean cheap.